in our last session of Wards and Witchcraft.
Just before the portal began to close, something else came through too. Huge and black and clad in plate mail armor, it lands in a battle position. The Black Knight.
Run? Yeah?
No, we're killing this guy. You trying to kill Hannah. Oh, I'm going to slow him down.
Push him through a portal.
I don't really have much mana. Actually, yeah, I'm down to my last mana, and that I cannot spend. I could do something, but
mana and health.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that avenue just yet. But slowing him down, I like for now. Sorry, I got 3 successes on that.
You feel something happening through time, and if you'd like to spend a mana, you can reflexively activate your time sight.
No.
Okay,
I
so
don't.
something is happening in time as you cast that spell, and all of you kind of get an uneasy feeling. Hannah, you can see the spirit of the snake, which had kind of been flowing past you in this waves of energy, kind of twist and like it's moving, but it's not moving forward anymore. It's like wriggling side to side. It flings that sword. The sword flies from its hand. You end up taking what would have been another 5 points of lethal damage. Your body is really getting pretty torn up right now.
Hannah is hurt, and we need to get Hannah out of here.
I think we're gonna retreat for now, and yeah, I guess we'll create a portal leading to the mansion.
You should use your wedding ring as a yantra.
Oh, okay.
Numa is here, and he looks as though he had been sleeping. He stumbles out into this area with Herodwolf, and following behind them, Rain. They all look over at you, and Numa says, "What'd you find?"
No matter what we threw at him, he just kept coming back. So we had to retreat to here. He's probably still in the snake as we speak.
And you turn and look at the snake, and standing there in the mouth of the snake is a suit of black armor. Numa turns to Rodwolf and says, "Get her out of here," and points down the hallway. As he says this, the Black Knight moves into the room with extreme speed. It's just like...
Is he like breaking through all the doors?
Yep. The
Oh,
doors
gosh.
just shatter. It flies through, and it's going to grab Hannah.
And now, the continuation.
Black Knight moves into the room with extreme speed. It's just like...
Is he like breaking through all the doors?
Yep.
Oh,
The doors
gosh.
just shatter. It flies through, and it's going to grab Hannah. Hannah, a strong metal hand closes around your leg and tries to pull you from the couch that you had been put upon. Roll an opposed strength plus brawl or strength plus athletics check.
1.
In the air.
Can I use forces to heat the metal at the joints and try to solder it so it doesn't have any hinges?
You are pretty sure that that metal will not heat up and be damaged in the same way. And it also doesn't have hinges so much as there are empty gaps of darkness.
Can I... Faye. Faye!
Younger Ethel's just gonna run up and try to hit the thing's arm that grabbed Hannah with her shovel.
Strength weaponry.
It's to roll literally one die. It's a
I
6.
strengthened that shovel though, right?
Yeah, and as it misses, like the knight steps to the side, it hits the floor with a resounding bang, breaking a bunch of Numa's glass tiles here.
Sorry.
So the armor is made of the same thing as the sword, right? So lightsaber wouldn't work on it.
Unclear. Probably not.
Hannah's gonna whack it anyway because that's what they have right now.
All right, roll your strength plus weaponry.
Is Mona smart enough to know if supernal dispellation would work or not?
Wouldn't work. It's not an awakened spell. With 2 successes, you manage to get that blade into like where there's a gap in the armor, and the hand severs off, dropping you. But, of course, it begins to immediately reform in shadows. The armor lays on the ground, but you can now see the spectral form.
Can I cast telekinesis and just like make it hover, like just float it to the high ceilings? Because I'm sure this place has high ceilings.
It has fairly high ceilings.
Yeah, I just want it to like float away from us.
Yeah, so you're gonna like lift it up with as much strength as you can. It's actually gonna be very hard because it is very heavy.
Well, I can combine that with like a gravity and make it very light and use telekinesis to float it away.
Yeah, definitely it's gonna take a lot of successes on a forces spell though.
When I see the shadowy part of it, can I yell at Numa and say, is that something you can banish? You're Thyrsus.
Numa's got some powerful spells. But banishment.
It's only a spirit 4.
It's true, he has spirit 4. Ooh. He can totally try to banish this. The problem is that doesn't stop it from coming back. But he is going to banish it on your request. Wow. So the Black Knight opposes, but does not get nearly that many successes. As Numa just a wave of energy out of a hand is going to strip the black spirit out of the armor, which again clatters to the ground just as it had done when Ethel had stopped it before.
Okay, so just to let you know, if you try to attack the armor, the spirit... Go ahead, Ethel. Tell him what happened.
Reached out for the person who approached the armor. With my death sight up, can I see the spirit now or no?
You can. It's still there. In fact, looking at it here, you're pretty sure that it's not just a spirit. It's a ghost.
Kill the ghost.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I kill ghosts?
In theory, you can damage ghosts. You can remove their essence, which is what keeps them around, but ghosts will just go back to wherever they exist and then slowly reform.
Would you have to go back to the Fae to reform?
Unclear. Well, you would know that it would need to go back to its anchor to reform, which might very well be this armor.
Which I rolled a 4. Is it like floating in the air?
Yeah, as the spirit lifts out, the armor becomes much lighter, and it lifts into the air.
Okay, yeah, I'm holding it like high up and on the opposite side of the room from us. Numa, do you know anything about how, this is time. Do the ritual for banishing spirits now. Back to the Fae. He gave you time.
He has banished this spirit. The problem is that it can just continue to manifest. He's done it. He's banished it.
Okay, so, has there been any history of the Fae bothering us, people in the mortal world, and what people did?
We have had a number of altercations with the Fae in my family. At one point, we had to leave where we were located before. That's why we came here. But I have not had any issues with them for quite some time.
Okay, well, I think we need a powerful fate mage.
I have a wild idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but I don't see any harm in trying at this point. I'm going to try to reach out to the spirit and then change its timeline so that it was never faded into the armor to begin with by rewriting its history. It would be an overreach spell, I think, by far, but I could definitely think I could do it.
So, you can reach back into its timeline and rewrite its history, but it is going to be super overreach because it takes 2 reach just to affect supernatural creatures.
Right.
And the normal duration is just a scene, and when the duration expires, it will revert back to its original history. So, 1 second, let me calculate the penalties on this because it is a serious thing.
Did you say that reach was also affected by how far back you go?
Yeah, so you're going to have to go really far back. Advanced duration, a -10 penalty to this roll.
I mean, you could just go back to when I cut his queen in half. That might prevent his revenge bender.
Wait, what if we just put his armor back into Arcadia? His armor is here now. That's his anchor. What if we just moved the armor back to Caity? Then when he goes back in his armor, he'll be in the Feywild.
One
I don't
of
think I
you
have that kind of connection.
need to get far from here. Either this armor does or you need to. And he's looking at Parallax when he says this.
Yeah, why don't you try Parallax opening a portal to Arcadia and we'll just drop that in.
Parallax doesn't have an incredibly close connection to Arcadia.
Yeah, I've already thought of that idea.
Hannah has a closer connection now with Arcadia than you did, though. You could try to use a space spell to take that connection and use it in your spell.
Could cast interconnections, I suppose, and do that. Yeah. Would that be costing a mana to do that?
It would.
Yeah, I'm gonna life tap again and get 3 more mana and take another resistant bashing damage.
So Parallax is starting to look very unhealthy as he's casting all these spells.
And yeah, I cast interconnections.
So you mean borrow threads? You cast borrow threads?
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah, borrow threads. Yep. That's 2 space.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, and I'll use my pocket watch for another point. I got 2 successes on that.
All right. With 2 successes, you have borrowed the connection and can now try to open a portal into the realm of the Fae.
Alright, and I will. I will use a willpower action.
I really hope no one else comes through.
Open and shut.
Rolling all the zeros. Another zero. Okay. That was 1, 2, 3, and then I have 5 successes.
Right.
On that
5
portal.
successes enough to open a portal, and you scoop the armor through it. You can't really see what's on the other side of the portal, so you're not sure where it's going.
Don't care.
But
Close it.
immediately close.
I hope it's flipped to the right place. The right realm.
Numa has a small sigh of relief.
Okay. We need healing. And we need mana. Give me that crown, Parallax. Let me melt that down into some candy.
No, this was a gift. No, this is a hollow. We will reside here and recoup ourselves for a brief time.
I'm afraid that if you spend any more time here, you'll be followed by that creature that you've angered. I can give you what mana I have accumulated here, or some of it.
Yes. And I'm going to make a phone call to Chain.
Okay. Numa is going to conjure a spirit of a servant into this room. They appear sort of like a butler, but their skin's all pink and gummy.
Hannah just nods. Okay.
The
How was the wedding?
They didn't even kiss.
So unromantic.
Good. Weddings are the worst. But better than snakes and mushrooms and spiders. Was there cake?
No. But I got this cool crown. And then some guy gave me a bunch of money. That was cool.
That guy was part of the Free Council. That was a Legua.
Oh,
yeah,
do I know them?
You're not really good at remembering a lot of things. You want to give me an intelligence composure check?
Yeah, I'm also like bad at participating in the Free Council. Yeah, I'll try. I have no idea who they are.
Did Mona know you were in the Free Council?
Yes. At one point, Hannah was captured by the was captured by the Seers of the Throne, and the Free Council raised a force to go and rescue them.
They did?
May did.
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember. Cool.
Wait, are you saying May is part of the Free Council?
I sure am.
What?
Yeah, confusing, right?
Add it to our post-it graph. May was part of the Free Council. How strange.
May was like, the Free Council doesn't have any leaders, but May was a big personality who definitely moved a lot of the policy for the Free Council.
I'm surprised the Free Council is not more interested in the new one then.
I don't know if May and the Nubian agree on everything.
While this is going on, Ermengarde, younger Ermengarde, excited by the presence of the butler, though disgusting, is delighted at the thought of finally having something be somewhat normal and orders like food and drinks and things for everybody.
Yes, I will see to it. First, I must attend my duties, but then I shall prepare something for you, miss.
Were you put here to aid us? Isn't that your duty?
Yes, I have a purpose.
Which I just directed you to.
He looks over helplessly at Numa, who is just ignoring him and is not paying any attention to what's going on here. What would you like?
Well, Parallax mentioned cake. Cake sounds wonderful. Drinks, also obvious. Something else to wear would be nice. Obviously, we're not changing here, and obviously, I don't trust your taste, but just along the way. I would also like a comfortable place to sleep. It's been a dreadfully long time. Will you give me wine?
Yes, cake and wine, of course.
Ethel, you are confusing, and someday we should sit down and talk about socialism.
But for now, we should eat cake and wine.
So yeah, Mona, your wrench phone call goes through to Chain, who definitely picks it up, even though you're not sure what hour it is at night. You hear his soft voice on the other end of the wrench say, Mona, is that you?
Yes, it is. We have a cursed soul from the Fae after us, and we can't stay at Parallax's new summer home any longer.
Oh dear, says Chain.
Yes, I was wondering if we could come to church.
I am concerned about the innocent parishioners who will be attending the church, but if it's only briefly, then of course.
Yes, I think just to recuperate, we need some healing and mana. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, roll a persuasion plus presence plus your mentor merit. Parallax, as you are sitting there, you start getting a sense of being uncomfortable. Do you have any mage sites up?
I was actually just about to say I should throw my time site up. That bothered me what you said about not having it up earlier.
With your time site up, you can see that there's something strange about the area around you. Like Numa, too. Everyone except for the party seems to be just slightly out of time, like they're in a different time stream than you are, ever since you came out of the mouth of that snake. And there's something else. You're beginning to hear, just subconsciously, a ticking.
I go over to Numa and I ask him, I know this is a certainly odd question, but how long were you in that snake? What is the current date?
Why, it's the same evening. It's only been 6 hours.
Well, that seems about right, right?
Maybe a little long. And Mona, you managed to convince Chain that you can stop there and get some mana. He'd be fine with that.
Excellent. Thank you, Jane. And then we'll be on our way. We'll go back to our cabal house.
Gummy Butler comes out with several bottles of wine and a tray of cups. And Numa glares at him and says, "What didn't you understand?" Ugh! He disapparates that Gummy Butler, who just He flexes and a slightly different gummy butler forms. You prepare the tea.
The teas are mana, I whispered to Ethel.
Did the gummy butler, the first one, have snacks that he dropped that we can pick up and eat, though?
They didn't manage to make a cake, but you can actually smell a cake being baked somewhere else in the house. They did bring a bunch of bottles of wine out.
Younger Ethel, not having a wine cork thing, is going to try to do the decay spell that older Ethel does on the cork and see if she can get it open.
Yeah, that sounds like Death Gnosis.
Just imagine.
Not one to be the moral compass around here, but how old are you, Ethel?
The glass starts to crack and break around the top.
Old enough. You're not going to tell my grandma, right?
The top of the wine bottle snaps off, but there's also some extra wine in it that starts like spilling out onto this nice carpet here and Ethel's hands.
I mean, I already smashed his floor, right? So I fill a glass and sit down to drink it.
Hannah takes it just as Ethel put it to her lips and says, "Thank you. It's been the worst day."
I take the rest of the bottle.
I do the same thing on another bottle.
Yeah, I use forces to like smooth the rim so I can just drink from that.
All right, 3 on the next bottle.
Yeah, you break that one in similar fashion. It's not broken in the way that there's a bunch of wine spilling out, but basically you just weaken the structural integrity of the top and it is now free.
That works.
Cheers. I hold up my bottle.
I think we're going to have to go back in that tunnel. There were some snakes who were waiting for someone. I'm not sure if it was a trick though, because then a giant spider came and invited me to a party. It was like a murder party.
Numa is pacing back and forth, clearly concerned about something.
Did you know that there was like a Alice in Wonderland going on inside the snake, Nemo?
It's not always there, he says.
So wait, so you what?
Yes, we are aware of the connection to the supernal inside the artifact.
Would have been helpful to know.
I have a question for you, Numa. When did this snake appear, and what is the problem about it? Is it because it's in our realm? Is that the problem?
No, the snake has always been in our realm. The snake has always existed as long as my family has been around, and we have been around for centuries.
Yeah, so what's the problem?
The problem is that now it is spawning parallaxes which are attacking the citizens of Boston.
The parallaxes are coming out of the snake, like
Yeah.
out of the mouth of the snake here.
Seems to be connected to it.
How far into the snake have you gone? Like, are there other fictional realms inside of the snake?
I did run into some problems in the connection to the Fae. I am aware that there should be more spaces of a sort inside, but I was never able to reach them.
How does that make sense?
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is the only entrance into the snake.
Yes.
Can I tell if he's lying?
Yeah, you could roll a empathy check.
So while you're doing that, how does that make sense if I rolled and I was informed that the snake was not meant to be in our the mortal realm, but it's been here the whole time.
Unclear.
Huh.
So with one success, you think that he's telling the truth or he's good at bluffing.
So by centuries, do you mean like Middle Ages, or like how many centuries are we talking? How old are your people?
Perhaps 30 centuries, 3,000 years is how far back we can trace our family line.
That's absurd. Genealogy does not. What?
I suppose if you were a member of the family, he looks over at Parallax. I could tell you more, but we really don't have time. Where's that tea? He exclaims.
Have you tried closing the snake mouth?
Oh, yes, I can do that, in fact. I'll do it now.
Wait, if parallaxes were coming out of it, why don't you just close it?
They're not coming out of the mouth. They're trying to get into the mouth.
Oh. Well, yeah, why don't you just close it?
Of course, I can close it now, but then I'll have to open it again if you seek to go back inside.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you close it for now?
I mean, can I open it or close it unwell?
Yes, I suppose you could. Come with me. I'll teach you the activation.
Wonderful.
As Parallax and Numa walk outside, a gummy butler enters the room with a tray filled with tea.
Ethel, do you have a question?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if the parallaxes are trying to get into the snake. Was marrying Parallax, our Parallax, just gonna help them?
Well, if our parallax decides to help them, then yes. But apparently they've been trying to get in unsuccessfully since they're not part of the family. They're missing a component to be able to enter.
They're not related to our Parallax?
They're like clones of him, but they're in a way different. Kind of like ours has just a little extra love inside of him. Just a smidge.
Very little.
So, Ethel, while I'm drinking my tea.
The tea is strange as you are drinking it. The surface is shimmering and you see little rainbows in there. And sometimes it seems as if it's moving up and down and then doing the exact thing, but in reverse motion.
I drink it.
Can I look at the tea with my spirit sight?
The tea is magical to prime sight. With spirit sight, there is an essence of old power in the tea, but it's not an active spirit.
I'm going to take a small sip because I'll be able to tell if it's poisonous.
It is
I've
not.
chugged it.
And Mona, you regain a point of mana.
Yes.
Outside, Numa shows you, Parallax, a stone in the center of the patio, which he reaches down and touches. You notice there's a kind of greenish stone similar to what the snake is made out of. You touch this and focus your will, and it should obey you. Would you like to seal it, or shall I?
No, I'll attempt to seal it. Might as well see if I can actually do it. And I put my hand on the stone and I
Roll
try to will
your
it shut.
noses. Just your noses.
Did the butler go off to get us clothes?
No.
Oh. Oh, that's right. That was the
Success.
first one.
One success? Yeah,
One.
it starts going down.
Noise.
You have to understand that you cannot stay here, says Numa. You're endangering your family.
I understand. I just wish not to leave things here undone. Well, at the return to this, I gesture at the entrance of the snake. I'd be able to return here as quickly as humanly possible.
I do have something, though I am loath to part with it, that may aid you in this quest. Come with me. He's going to walk you in towards another part of the house. The people inside are drinking tea. Anyone who drinks the tea restores a point of mana.
I want to talk to Ethel while we're drinking.
Mhm.
Ethel. I've also had wine. You're probably wondering what all these realms are about. Let me teach you a lesson while we wait for Parallax. I shuffle my imaginary papers. Right. Well, we are currently in the mortal world. The mortal world is separated from all the other supernal worlds that exist beyond the abyss. Now, before they used to be all together, and then something happened that made them separate. Now, you go through the abyss and you can enter some different supernal worlds. Now, there's a few. I drink another sip of wine. There's Stagia, that's the death one. There's Arcadia, that's where that dragon came from, the knight, that's Fae. And that's where like fate and time magic is pulled from. There's the Aether, which is mine. It's kind of like a nice place. There's Primordial, Wild. That is all like animals, and that's where Hannah pulls their magic from. And then there's also Pandemonium. That's the nightmare realm where the Mastigos pull their magic from. So we're all pulling magic from these different supernal worlds to cast magic in the mortal world. Does that make sense?
Do you go to the other supernal worlds?
Oh yeah, we were just in one. So we were in the Fae Arcadia, and that's a scary one.
And I've gone to Death. What did you call Death?
That one's a Stagia. Yeah, I can spell it.
I'll just keep calling it Death. It's more comfortable that way.
Okay.
What is the abyss? Is that hell?
No, the abyss is like, so pretend the mortal world is at the top of a water slide and all the supernal worlds are at the bottom of a water slide. The abyss is the slide.
Oh,
I drink some more wine.
But it's also like a terrifying slide with like things coming from the slide that sometimes crawl up the slide.
Yeah, you don't want to like stay there.
Hannah's on the floor.
I go down to the floor to join you. Hey Ethel, you should ask this new butler to get you some clothes.
Oh, fabulous idea.
The new butler has stood by the side of the door, just kind of like watching you all, and you all are beginning to smell burning cake.
Oh no, your cake's burning. Go get it.
Oh, the butler doesn't seem to acknowledge this.
Oh no, let's go save the cake. I
Okay.
pull Hannah up. I pull Hannah up. Let's go.
All right, I'm gonna use my life magic to have. I'm saying this out loud. I'm going to have the best nose. I'm going to find this cake,
I look at your nose.
and I'm going to turn my nose into a dog nose, so it also looks like a dog nose.
Honey.
That's never not going to be upsetting.
Oh yeah, I definitely have like a hound nose.
Yeah, you can smell exactly where that cake smell is coming from. Rushing through the halls, the butler tries to object, but you are quickly moving through these halls. Meanwhile, Parallax, you are led into a small study, and man, does this building have a lot of different rooms. And in this room, there is like a sealed vault. Numa goes to that vault and twists on part of it. The door slides open. You see that beyond there is a single item. It's familiar to you. It's an axe. The axe that was in the stump. But now it looks even more magical in a way. It's shimmering as if the silver metal is made of fluid, almost organic. Numa goes to the axe and raises it. He says, "This is Imdrillin, the ancestral axe of the Leon family. It is able to damage beings native to the Fae."
Wow. But you said this could age me in some way?
Yes, the axe is powerful, but its power comes with a price.
And that is...
It is time. Each swing of the axe takes away time from your path. And it must be returned to this family vault. It is a dangerous object that would not do well in the wrong hands. It could cause all sorts of paradox.
Very well. I'm certainly honored that you would entrust it with me. I'll see that it makes its way back here.
He looks a little bit hesitant, but hands you the massive axe. What is your strength score?
I think it's 2.
Yeah, it's a little bit too big for you to comfortably wield this axe. Meanwhile, the rest of the cabal has found the kitchen. It's massive. It's a beautiful kitchen. It's got all sorts of foods here. And you've rescued the cake, only a little bit burned.
Yes. All right, icing. I'm going to the fridge and finding anything that could be icing.
There is, in fact, some very high quality icing. It looks like it's homemade.
I put the icing on the cake.
I'm looking for candles.
You can roll an investigate check if you would like to.
Yeah, and it's been like, so what happened? Where were we when we woke up? Because how long has it been since we've eaten? I mean, I'm not hungry because I'm fine, but.
Well, people could have eaten so you have eaten earlier in the day, anyone who ate those pastries off of the tables in the trials, but anyone else hasn't eaten for a week because of the Fae times.
Cake.
Yes.
Eat those
please.
cakes. Also, do you guys need to be healed?
Yes.
All right. Let me do that. And a magical healer.
Numa comes along with Parallax. They're going to eventually find you in the kitchen. But as this happens, Hannah, you've managed to heal everyone for their non-resistant damage. So you heal everyone back up to full.
It is the most useful praxis.
Numa looks kind of disconcerted having all of you ransack his kitchen, but he's not taking any actions against you.
Oh, when Numa walked in, Hannah stopped being drunk. Just nah, we don't need to be drunk anymore.
Well, I have given you what I can from my personal stock. I think it is time that you be moving along.
Yeah, I held on to one of the teacups for Parallax, and I hand it to him before we go.
Oh, thank you. And I chug it.
My other hand is holding another bottle of wine, but it's behind my back.
Hannah's got the cake. Great party, Numa.
Yes.
Yes, please don't return.
But we have to. We're the chosen ones. And then I just start leaving.
How is the cabal leaving the mansion?
Is Chain sending a car?
He wasn't originally, but you can call him back and ask him to send a car. But keep in mind that would be coming from in Boston. It'll definitely be like an hour of waiting here.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Numa has some drivers. You could lend us one. I look at Parallax. You want to ask him? Nephew or nephew-in-law? I don't know what you are to him.
Yeah, I guess I could ask him that. I'm curious though if we should actually even leave to go to Boston, where I could sort of commandeer a room here and elongate the time, make it like a couple days again, and then go back right at it.
Oh, can we prep better this time?
Yeah,
Last
do
time
the
was
kitchen.
so boring.
Yeah, kitchen.
Maybe find like a deck of cards and I don't know, Scrabble game or something.
I mean, how much time should we aim for? I say at least a day.
3 days?
How about 2 days? That's
2 days.
probably fine. I can
Before
do
we
some
do that, though,
long-term spells this time.
This place is a hollow, though, right? It can draw mana from here.
Well, not this room.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move to a room that does allow that.
Is there a hollow at Chain's church?
There is a hollow at Chain's church. It's basically every so often there's a little shrine where the mana fills up there. You know, as a prime mage, though, that the mana wouldn't flow if you stopped the energy around it. Essentially, hollows are where magical energy builds up, but it needs the rest of the world to refill those reservoirs.
So like our old house, we kind of interrupted that because we destroyed the house a bit.
Not necessarily. It's just that when you stop time, the hollow isn't going to refill.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but our well probably has like at least 5 mana in it from all the time we've been away from it.
That's true. And it was a kind of a suspicious place. Maybe a good suspicious place. Yeah, I'd be fine going back to our demolished house.
Well, can we go to Chains first, pick up some mana there, and then go to our place? Get some more?
Alright, I ask Numa if he was able to spare a driver and a car to get us down there.
I can spare a driver and a car, I suppose, if it gets you out of my house.
Very well. I guess it's settled.
You get into the car, bringing all your ill-gotten gains. There's a strange... Actually, it's that same driver who drove you last time away from the grounds. And you start driving. And Parallax, do you still have time sight up?
Yes.
As you're going further, all of you are distorting more and more. The world itself seems out of focus to you in time sight. Everything that's not the cabal seems to be getting diluted.
Do we notice and feel this at all, or only Parallax?
Only Parallax at first, because he is highly attuned to it.
I tell the driver to stop the car.
He does. It's the middle of the road. You had only gotten down halfway off of the grounds.
Guys, I think that wine's getting to me in a weird way.
Your head all fuzzy too?
Yeah, I feel weird.
Can I
Before
take
leaving the
Mona's
grounds.
drunkenness away from her?
Yes.
Yeah. Here, Mona. It's not just the wine.
Yeah, I still feel weird. Now I feel weird and not drunk.
Don't believe we can make our way to Boston, as much as I'd like to go. I'm afraid we are tied to the snake. I have to stay
But the
until we're
snake
resolved.
But the snake is everywhere.
Well, I see you guys can sense it as well, but time is distorted the further we go to the epicenter of that snake. Well, at least that's what I'm theorizing right now.
What if we follow the snake path? Where's that map? Who has it? Is that you, Hannah?
Yeah, I haven't changed my clothes in weeks. Sorry. It's the map. Yeah, we're at the edge of it. If we follow along, we could go north to Ethel's, or nope, that's the only direction we want to go along the snake.
I can't imagine my family's home would be any safer.
The other option is also a very unsafe place, and we should not go.
What is that? What's the other option, Hannah?
It's the Danvers Asylum. It's just, not a great place. We should go to your house.
Not dressed like this, not unannounced, not in the middle of the night. Also, they tried to kill me last time I was at my house. I'm not exactly inclined to go back anytime soon.
Yeah, same with the asylum.
So what's holding us back here, Parallax?
Well, We could venture forward, but I am afraid of what that would mean to us and our timelines.
Yeah, but what's changed? Why are we being held back?
I'm not sure.
You could try to examine it with time sight.
Sure. Should I roll time gnosis?
Yep.
Uh, 3 successes.
With 3 successes, you're not entirely sure what it is that feels weird, but it's like time is a fabric, and instead of being on the same level of fabric, on that same quilt, it's like you're on a layer underneath. Maybe it's another time stream, maybe it's not in time at all, but as you keep going, it seems to be stranger, and you're sure that you would notice other discrepancies the further out you go. The only thing that you can tell that is constant between the two time surfaces seems to be that snake. It's like something resting on the fabric, pulling it into a central point, like a gravitational body upon the fabric of space-time.
I say we go back to the snake and face it head on.
But
We don't need a rest. Who needs the rest?
Me, I need a rest.
We'll be fine. No problem.
Injured, no mana.
You can pull mana out of the air.
Are you
It almost killed us before. What makes you think it won't happen exactly the same way this time?
Oh, I threw it back into Arcadia. It should be fine.
It won't leak back out this time?
I think if it leaks out, it can find us anywhere. Plus, the snakes were actually pretty cool in the end. I mean, they weren't the problem.
How'd you end up in the Fae in the first place, Hannah?
I was invited, kinda. I was invited. I followed the snakes. They asked for help and invited me in, and then I ran into a spider at his tea party, and then this very unpleasant, redheaded, definitely not alive thing, I guess Faye, Ramona, invited me to her party, and I could not say no. But I cut her in half, so it's probably fine. That's, one Faye down.
Older Ethel's eyes get really wide because she had encountered Ramona when she was in the Fae too. You killed her?
Yeah, like lightsaber. Thank you, Mona. Cut her in half.
Oh.
Best weapon ever. Terrifying, but yeah. And then you guys rescued me.
Both of the Ethels notice something in their peripheral mage sight. It's like there's something there just outside the car.
Can I turn to more deliberately look?
Yeah, which mage sight are you activating?
Death, I guess, is the instinct that both the Ethels initially have.
It's ghosts.
It's always ghosts.
Hundreds of ghosts, faceless ghosts, all around you, surrounding the car.
This happened to us before, right? Like long time ago.
It seems like deja vu. Maybe even the same ghosts.
I point out the ghosts to everybody, and then I try to remember desperately what happened next. Try to drive away.
Do I see them with my spirit sight? They're not quite spirits, but...
Yeah, they're not quite spirits. You can kind of tell that something is here, but you can't really see it.
Do they look friendly?
They do not look friendly. They look mad.
We have to move one way or the other. This is not a good place to stay.
Okay, let's go back since we can't go forward. Can I see if there is any like spell on us that caused this?
Cause what?
This weird feeling we're getting from becoming.
You don't see any active magic on you.
No, I'm afraid it's the effects of, I guess, the constant time fluctuations or the time streams coming together or sort of breaking further apart. And the snake seems to be I guess you can call it an anchor between the multiple layers of time.
All right. So the car heads back as the ghosts swarm around, and you end up going back into the jaws of the time snake.
Wait. Can we freeze time in a room on the land before we go in?
Or in the antechamber of the time snake.
Yeah.
Certainly try to freeze time in both of those places. But as you return to the grounds, you get a sense that there is a powerful spirit, Hannah. It's kind of like twisting above you. That same snake, it seems more out of control. There's something that's changed since you came and you left. And we'll end this session there.
The snake itself is out of control.
That's not good. Not good at all. That snake is like, is the world, is time, something's broken. Okay, cool.
Just go inside, smash a bunch of stuff, come back outside.
It's just falling apart.
And yeah, everybody, of course, gets a beat. And they also get a beat for experiencing that arcane confrontation with whatever the Black Knight is. And I'm actually going to give everyone else another beat for not defeating you defeated the Black Knight. It's just not gone forever. Did anybody accomplish any of their obsessions or their aspirations?
Learn more about magic.
Take a beat.
I have a new aspiration to free Alora, but I didn't see her, so weird.
I wanted to find out how things work, and I learned more about the night.
Yeah. I think that you do get a beat for that because you are figuring out how the night is connected to all of these other realms.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll
I want to add, can I add another aspiration?
You can switch one out, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to switch find out what happened at the ziggurat with free the Black Knight.
Yep, you can switch that one out. So you don't want to find out what happened at the ziggurat. You want to free the Black Knight.
I mean, I want to do both, but for now, I think free the Black Knight.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll replace it with repay Davy Jones. Nah, that's top priority. Okay, we're good.
All right. And we'll continue this adventure next time.